So, what if this man lied about time? Well, this is a very serious question that we need to pay attention because of the fact that his deception of time is applicable. So, what if this man lied about time? Well, this is a very serious question that we need to pay attention because of the fact that his deception of time is applicable everywhere. Just read this. Because he lies about time, he can destroy with time. Because he lies about time, he can destroy with time. Listen. So here, this is a message to the Japanese people. Japan, wake up and free your people. Japan, wake up and free your people. Here is why. The times of the 9.0 earthquake that hit Japan and the 9/11 Twin Tower disaster that happened in New York City in 2001 can be compared. Here, 9/11 2001. See, I underline 01 01. 9/11 2001. Of course, 11 on the line 11 and then 01 and then 01. The first tower was hit at 8:46 a.m. Eastern Time. At 4/11 2011, 4/11 2011, the 9.0 earthquake hit in Japan at 2:46 p.m. See, 8:46, 2:46 Japan time. Now Japan time at 2:46 is equivalent to 12:46. You see, so you're seeing the synonymity between Japan and New York. 12:46. In other words, if you take away the 1, you get 2:46 in New York and then 2:46 in Japan. Look at it. That's why I underline 2:46, 12:46 with only the 2:46 underlined in New York City time. And now the media refers to the Japan disaster as the twin hits. Twin Tower, twin hits. Twin Tower, twin hits. This is the end of our lecture. You now know that you have to have a way to begin to think, because if you don't think, your time is corrupt and your diseases will never end. You will forever continue to run to them to give you their drugs. Thank you. I'm Professor Momo. My email address is here. Email me and then we can have a discussion. Nama. Imhotep. Our recording is entitled "What If He Lied About Time?" Yes, we're going to be producing a series of videos on the what if topic. Let me give you a word of wisdom, or a statement of wisdom. Let's put it that way. Here it is. She who can do more can do less, because she possesses all the 3 intelligences and she can create. Now here are the 3 priestesses from Africa. Look at what they created, because they could do more. They created trigonometry, calculus, and geometry. They could do more because they were reading the stars. They were observing a supernova that was happening in the skies. They could do more. They were looking at that star, at the dying star, with their bare eyes. Now here's the other side of this same statement. But he who can do less cannot do any better but to continue to do less until there is nothing more to do but to lie, destroy, and to promote chaos. Now here you see them, the three people who are paramount in this discussion here. They are Albert Einstein, Charles Darwin, and of course Sigmund Freud. They are the destroyer and then the Confucianists. So here we say this powerful statement that I just declared here about she who can do more but he who can do less, those statements were declared by our great African ancestors of thousands of years ago. Now remember, I showed you the three priestesses of Africa, and then I showed you the three stooges, Caucasians, white men from Europe. So you see, 3 Africans brought wisdom to the planet, 3 Caucasian men destroyed the planet. Now think about it. Let's move on. In talking about time, let's ask you, why are you so stressed, depressed, and full of anxiety? Why? Well, the reason is because of these 3 Caucasian men here. We got a destroyer, who is Albert Einstein, and then you got the 2 Confucianists, who are Darwin and Freud. They lied to you about your entire education because they don't understand time. They don't know time. These are the 3 stooges, comical actors of the late 19th and early 20th centuries, who completely destroyed the 3 intelligences with theories. But you know what? These people lived long enough to regret their ridiculous stupidities. So today you are in pain, but you are too afraid to denounce them. So aren't you a fool? Think about it. Don't get angry at me. Think about your situation. Certainly there's a way you can solve your situation. Let's move on. Now remember, I showed you the 3 priestesses of Africa, and then I showed you the 3 stooges, Caucasians, white men from Europe. So you see, 3 Africans brought wisdom to the planet, 3 Caucasian men destroyed the planet. Now think about it. Let's move on. So what is time then? Alright, let's start you off with the concept of simultaneity. It was Isaac Newton that introduced the topic of simultaneity in the 1600s. And this is how Isaac Newton defined the simultaneity of time. He said, absolute, true, and mathematical time of itself and from its own nature flows equably without relation to anything external. That's what Newton said. Then came Einstein in the early 1900s when he was messing around with his E equals mc squared theory lie. Here he defined simultaneity of time as time interval measurements depend on the reference frame in which the measurement is made. Now that's how this man defined time. Now you can see the difference here. Here Newton says time is absolute, true, and mathematical. Absolute, true, and mathematical. That's what Newton said. And then this man comes in and he says time is measured depending on a reference point. So here you have one Caucasian man, Newton, who was talking about something abstract, about time, and time is abstract. Then comes this other Caucasian man who then says, no, time is not abstract, time is mechanical. There you go, that's your theory there. That's what you get when you deal with theory, because theory is it's a falsified attempt to corrupt the truth. And that's what this man did, this Einstein. And look at what Einstein said later on. He says, if the facts don't fit the theory, change the facts. Listen, that's what Einstein said. If the facts don't fit the theory, so he was looking at Newton's facts, but since Newton's facts wouldn't fit his E equals mc squared nonsense, he had to change it. And then he says, listen now, in hindsight, on his dying bed, Einstein says, if only I had known, I should have become a watchmaker. Let me say that for you again, because some of you who are running around falsifying things, this is what you get. If only I had known, I should have become a watchmaker. Einstein, therefore, is definitely the idiot in these definitions. Thank you very much. Now let's continue to learn more about Isaac Newton. Why did Isaac Newton define simultaneity with reference to time being absolute, true, and mathematical, and also flowing equably without relation to anything external? Yeah, I want to know, and you want to know, where did Newton get his idea about time? From where? Who taught Newton about time? Who? How did he know, how did Newton know that time was absolute, mathematical, and flowed equably without relation to anything external? How did Newton know these facts? Well, here's the answer. This Englishman, Isaac Newton, studied our texts, specifically the Aramaic text from Kemet. Now, without these texts, the laws of motion and forces in physics would never exist today. Yeah, because who was it that gave you the laws of motion, the laws of forces? It was Isaac Newton. So where did Isaac Newton get this information from? He got the information from our text, the Aramaic text. And also, Isaac Newton was able to build the prism that gave you the spectrum of light. Where did Isaac Newton get the idea of the prism from? From our pyramids. So therefore, who is the master of physics? Who is the master of physics? Physics is African. That's all I got to tell you. Yeah, I'm not convincing you anything, but this is what it is. That's the facts. It's not a theory, it's a fact. Physics is African. Besides mathematics, I showed you about the three priestesses who gave you calculus, trigonometry, and geometry. Now physics is also given to you by Africans. We have introduced you to the Caucasian interpretation of time. And now is the time to take you to what the Caucasian never knew about time. Although Newton did his best by speaking our language in order to discover what I'll be discussing, which is time bubbles. Listen carefully. This term or this phrase here, time bubbles, is new to you. So what are time bubbles? let me begin by saying that before there was any star in the universe, there was no physical space or universe. I repeat that. Before there was any star in the universe, there was no physical space or universe, physical universe. So what then created physical space? Yeah, what created the physical universe? Well, the answer is time bubbles. Yeah, time bubbles is what created the physical universe. Time bubbles are force fields that express themselves as mass, then matter. MASS, they first express themselves as mass, MASS, then they become matter. This explains the concept of space-time. See? Now, Einstein didn't know this. These guys don't know this. Time bubbles are what form mass. They first of all form mass, and then after that they then form matter, and so the matter then becomes space. Simple. So I'm going to give you illustrations on that as we move along. Again, we welcome you to time bubbles. So what are they? What are time bubbles? Well, first, let's show you illustrations of time bubbles. Here they are. You see the little bubbles here in a circle. Each one of these circles is a time bubble. The bubbles are identified as C squared F squared, which is combined circular force field. That's what the C squared F squared is. That means combined circular force field, and this combination of this circular force fields give you, or they generate, gravity, centrifugal force, centripetal force, and levitation force. So they give you these four forces in the universe. These are the four forces that drive the physical universe. Now, I'm not talking about the nuclear aspect of forces at all. I'm talking about forces that affect you and I. Gravity affects you. Levitation affects you. We see the birds fly. And then we have centrifugal forces. Things come towards us. Forces come towards us. They leave us as well. Those are all the forces that are in the physical universe. So that's what we are showing here. But how do these forces operate? And from where are they coming? And to where are they going? Now, these are some of the questions that we will have to answer by understanding more and more about time. Alright, so that's it for now. Here we now begin to show you how this time bubble creates space. How time creates space. So here it is. We have two illustrations here. The top one, which we call the B circle. The B circle is the bubble circle, and then the bubble circle is driven by the T wave, and so that's the T wave is what we're showing you here in the second illustration. The T wave is a trans wave. Trans wave means that which carries translational and transformational forces. So these are forces that are there in the abstract, just like Newton was saying that time itself is completely mathematical and free of anything that is external to it. So this is what it is. So here we have this trans wave, which is what you see now in the color. We're showing this trans wave based on the forces here, on the forces that you see. So we have the different forces that we illustrate. So we have the forces called the D forces. See, the D forces, they are called the diagonal forces. D forces are called the diagonal forces, and these forces have colors, like I said. So the colors are black, red, yellow, green, and blue. So that's what we are showing here. We're showing you these D forces. They are diagonal forces. The reason why they are diagonal forces is because they have vector qualities. So this is interesting here because time has these features, which is what Einstein didn't know, and so that's why he made time mechanical. Because when you make something mechanical, then you restrict it. You see? But Newton didn't want that rubbish. Newton knew better. He said no, time is abstract, and so because Newton knew better, he therefore assigned time with all these vector forces that then will emerge out of time. So vector forces, diagonal forces, levitation, gravitation, centrifugal. So you have all these forces working within time. Alright, so let's just go to the next page now. So now let's define force for you. What is force? What is the source of all forces? So here, if you trust Einstein's simultaneity law or theory, you will follow the deception that the origin of all forces is mechanical. So if you agree with that, then you are not a thinker. But if you trust Newton's simultaneity law, then you will accept this definition of all forces. Here it is. Force is the inherent potential within all mass, within every mass, MASS, before they acquire the matter state. Listen, force is the inherent potential within all mass before they acquire matter state. When inherent transforms to Kp, which is kinetic potential, absolute, true, and mathematical time, we act simultaneously in space to create matter. Therefore, matter equals the ratio of kinetic potential to time. The ratio of kinetic potential to time is what gives you matter. Now I want any physicists out there to come and tell me I'm wrong. So this is it. Let's move on. Now here comes what you have been waiting for. That is to find out how you can undo the lives of Albert Einstein, Sigmund Freud, and Charles Darwin, the three stooges, the three comical men who brought all this corruption to humanity. So now how can you undo their lives in order to be able to cure your anxiety, depression, stress, and every other problem that you may have, Alzheimer's disease and all of that? Okay, so now take a look at the wave. Look at the wave right here. So the wave that you see right here is then primarily what is going to begin to give you the solution to your problem. So now, which color is your favorite color? Yeah, or which colors are your favorite colors? I tell you, my friend, the solutions are in the right colors that you begin to wear. Because as you see right here, you see the D forces, the diagonal forces, the levitation, gravitation, centrifugal, all of these forces will have an impact in terms of how you begin to resolve your situation because of the angles, because of the vector qualities of these forces. Once you begin to apply this system in your life with a number system that accompany them, the doggone number system, that's what is going to cure you. Here, I'm Professor Momo. Before I go to the next page, I'm Professor Momo of the Dogon University. Call me, Professor Momo at dogonuniversity.com. Send me an email contact, professormomo@dogonuniversity.com. Thank you.